In today's modern world, relationships often seem more fragile than ever. Despite the countless ways we can connect with others through technology, social media, and in person, many relationships fall apart, even when it feels like everything is going smoothly. You may find yourself asking, why does something that felt so right suddenly go wrong? The truth is, relationships, like all things in life, are subject to change, and not all of them are meant to last. But understanding why they end can provide valuable insights into how to approach relationships with greater wisdom. Thesis. Statement. The philosophy of Stoicism provides a powerful framework for understanding why relationships often fail. Instead of focusing on external circumstances, things we cannot control, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of internal control, managing our expectations, and accepting the natural flow of life. When we understand the limitations of relationships and accept that certain things are beyond our control, we can approach them with more resilience and emotional strength. In this video, we'll delve into the 8 key reasons relationships with women end from a Stoic perspective. These reasons range from the breakdown of communication to unrealistic expectations, emotional detachment, and changes in life paths. But instead of viewing these reasons as failures, we'll explore how Stoic principles can help you reflect on these issues with a calm, clear mind. By the end of this discussion, you'll have a better understanding of how to navigate the complexities of romantic relationships, why certain dynamics inevitably lead to their end, and what steps you can take to prevent them from unraveling prematurely. Whether you're currently experiencing relationship struggles or simply want to equip yourself with knowledge for the future, Stoicism offers timeless wisdom for handling the ebb and flow of human connections. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." When it comes to relationships, understanding why they fail and learning how to manage our reactions to these challenges is crucial for growth and personal development. By applying these Stoic insights, you can move forward with a clearer sense of purpose and emotional strength, creating a foundation for healthier and more fulfilling relationships in the future. Unrealistic expectations and desires. Stoic insight. According to Stoicism, much of our suffering stems from our attachment to unrealistic desires and expectations. The Stoics believed that by expecting external things or people to behave in ways that perfectly suit us, we set ourselves up for inevitable disappointment. Epictetus, a key Stoic philosopher, said, "It is not things that upset us, but our judgments about things." In other words, our emotional distress often comes from the expectations we place on situations and people rather than the events themselves. This principle is particularly relevant when it comes to romantic relationships. Application in relationships. In the context of a romantic relationship, it's common for people to have high hopes or idealized images of their partner and the relationship itself. However, expecting your partner to fulfill every emotional need, stay exactly the same over time, or consistently meet your imagined ideal is setting yourself up for frustration. People are inherently flawed, just like relationships. They evolve, change, and face challenges. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control external circumstances, including other people, but we can control our own reactions and expectations. Why relationships end. When one or both partners hold unrealistic expectations, whether expecting the other person to be perfect, to never change, or to serve as the source of their happiness, the relationship begins to deteriorate. The disappointment that arises when these expectations aren't met leads to tension, frustration, and emotional withdrawal. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Expecting your partner to behave perfectly or to never change creates unnecessary emotional strain and can cause relationships to crumble under the weight of unmet desires. Solution. The Stoic solution to this issue is to practice detachment from idealized visions of the relationship. Instead of holding on to the unrealistic belief that your partner must fulfill every emotional need or remain the same, focus on what is within your control, your thoughts, actions and responses. This doesn't mean lowering your standards or tolerating bad behavior, but it does mean recognizing and accepting the imperfections in both yourself and your partner. Appreciate the relationship for what it is in the present, without being weighed down by expectations of how it should be. As the Stoics taught, peace of mind comes from accepting the reality of life and the people in it, not from clinging to idealized visions. Emotional reactivity and lack of control. Stoic insight. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the idea that we cannot control external events or the behavior of others, only our reactions to them. As Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In relationships, this principle is particularly important because emotional reactivity can lead to conflict, misunderstandings, and an erosion of trust. Stoicism teaches that emotional self-control is crucial for maintaining peace and stability, both within oneself and in relationships. Application in relationships. Emotional reactivity, whether it's jealousy, anger, insecurity, or frustration, often stems from a lack of control over one's internal state. In relationships, emotional outbursts or heightened sensitivity can signal deeper insecurities and a desire to control the other person's actions or feelings. For example, reacting with jealousy when a partner talks to someone else or becoming angry over minor disagreements reflects an inability to manage one's emotions. Over time, these patterns create an environment of tension and instability, making it difficult for both partners to feel secure in the relationship. Why relationships end? Relationships often break down when one or both partners are unable to regulate their emotions. Constant emotional outbursts, accusations, or a lack of emotional control creates conflict and can severely damage the trust that holds the relationship together. Emotional reactivity makes partners feel as though they are walking on eggshells, never knowing when a disagreement or simple miscommunication might escalate into a full-blown argument. This instability is exhausting, and over time, it erodes the foundation of the relationship. In contrast, a stoic man who can control his emotions brings calm and peace to his relationships, creating an atmosphere of stability and trust. Solution. The Stoic approach to overcoming emotional reactivity is to practice emotional detachment and mindfulness. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent, but rather developing the ability to observe your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. Focus on controlling your own responses rather than trying to control your partner's behavior. When you feel jealousy, anger, or insecurity arise, take a step back and reflect on whether the emotion is grounded in reality or fueled by irrational fears and expectations. By cultivating emotional self-control, you can create a healthier, more stable relationship dynamic where both partners feel secure and valued. A calm and composed partner not only fosters trust, but also sets the tone for a balanced, peaceful relationship. Failure to communicate effectively. Stoic insight. The Stoics placed a high value on clear, rational communication, believing that emotional outbursts and misunderstandings can easily disrupt relationships. They advocated for calm and thoughtful dialogue, which not only helps in avoiding unnecessary conflict, but also ensures clarity and understanding. Marcus Aurelius advised that we should be tolerant with others and strict with yourself, encouraging rational conversations without blaming or reacting impulsively to others. Application in relationships. In relationships, effective communication is the foundation of mutual understanding and trust. When couples fail to communicate openly and honestly, they often leave important issues unresolved, allowing resentment and misunderstanding to fester. Avoiding tough conversations about needs, boundaries, or expectations often leads to emotional distance. On the other hand, failing to express feelings or constantly misinterpreting what the other person says creates confusion. In either case, poor communication can cause both partners to feel misunderstood or unappreciated, leading to a gradual breakdown in connection. Why relationships end? Relationships often end when communication issues persist. A lack of open dialogue can lead to partners drifting apart emotionally as each person begins to assume the worst about the other's intentions. Small disagreements, when not addressed, can grow into larger problems. The absence of meaningful communication also makes it difficult to resolve conflicts, leading to feelings of isolation or abandonment. Miscommunication can quickly erode trust and intimacy, creating an emotional wall between partners. According to Stoicism, such breakdowns in communication are preventable with the right mindset, one that values rational thinking and avoids impulsive reactions. Solution. The Stoic approach to improving communication is to cultivate mindful, rational dialogue. This means approaching conversations with a calm, present mindset, actively listening without jumping to conclusions or assuming the worst. Instead of reacting emotionally, focus on clearly expressing your thoughts and feelings while giving your partner space to do the same. Avoid interrupting or rushing to defend yourself. Instead, make an effort to fully understand their perspective. Rational communication is about staying composed, being patient, and addressing issues as they arise, rather than letting them build up over time. This type of mindful communication creates a sense of mutual respect and fosters deeper connection, ensuring that both partners feel heard and understood, which strengthens the foundation of the relationship. Clinging to external validation. Stoic insight. Stoicism teaches that our sense of self-worth should come from within, not from external sources like the opinions or approval of others. The Stoics believed that depending on external validation, whether through praise, recognition, or acceptance, leaves us vulnerable to disappointment and emotional turbulence. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle emphasizes that true contentment comes from controlling how we perceive ourselves, independent of how others see us. Application in relationships. In relationships, the need for constant validation from a partner or outside sources, such as social media, can create significant imbalances. When one partner continually seeks approval or attention, it places unnecessary pressure on the relationship, making the dynamic feel one-sided. The individual seeking validation may become overly dependent on their partner's approval for self-esteem, leading to insecurity and a fragile emotional connection. Furthermore, relying on social media for external validation can erode the intimacy of the relationship, as the focus shifts from personal connection to public perception. Why relationships end? Relationships often fail when one or both partners become too dependent on external validation. When self-worth hinges on receiving praise or approval from a partner, any perceived lack of validation can lead to feelings of inadequacy or resentment. This dynamic transforms the partnership from a place of mutual respect and growth into a source of emotional neediness and approval-seeking behavior. Over time, This reliance on validation can drain the emotional energy of the relationship, leading to feelings of frustration, inadequacy, and disconnection. A relationship built on seeking external approval lacks the stability that comes from genuine self-confidence and mutual support. Solution: the Stoic approach to overcoming the need for external validation is to cultivate self-worth from within. Focus on building confidence through personal growth, self-reflection, and understanding your own intrinsic value. In relationships, it's important to ensure that the connection is based on mutual respect, not an endless cycle of validation-seeking behavior. Instead of constantly looking for approval, strive to appreciate the relationship for its deeper emotional and intellectual connection. By fostering a partnership that values each other's growth and well-being, rather than external affirmations, you can create a more balanced, resilient, and fulfilling bond. Incompatibility in values. Stoic insight. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living in accordance with one's core values. For the Stoics, a life grounded in virtue, where personal integrity, responsibility, and purpose guide every decision, is the path to true fulfillment. They believed that one's values should be the bedrock of all actions and decisions, including those in relationships. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the significance of aligning one's life with inner principles rather than external desires, reinforcing the idea that values are central to personal and interpersonal harmony. Application in relationships. In relationships, compatibility in values is crucial. When two partners have significantly different values, whether related to career ambitions, family priorities, or personal growth, it creates an underlying tension. These differences, if unresolved, can lead to dissatisfaction over time, as the partners find themselves moving in opposite directions. For example, one person may prioritize financial success and career advancement, while the other may value work-life balance and personal fulfillment. Without alignment on these fundamental issues, the relationship can become strained, with each partner feeling misunderstood or unsupported. Why relationships end? Relationships often end when values such as integrity, responsibility, or long-term goals do not align. Over time, these differences create friction that can erode the foundation of the relationship. A Stoic man recognizes that shared values are essential for a strong, lasting partnership. Without this alignment, even the strongest emotional connection can falter, as the couple's decisions, priorities, and future aspirations clash. The Stoic approach teaches that a relationship based solely on chemistry or emotional connection is unlikely to withstand the pressures of life unless there is harmony in values. Solution: to avoid long-term incompatibility, it's essential to reflect on your own core values early in the relationship and assess whether your partner's values align with yours. Open, honest conversations about life goals, career ambitions, family plans, and personal growth can help ensure that both partners are on the same page. This self-awareness and communication will allow you to build a relationship grounded in mutual understanding and shared values. By aligning your relationship with both partners' guiding principles, you can create a stronger, more resilient connection that withstands the challenges and changes of life. Resistance to change and growth. Stoic insight. The Stoics placed a strong emphasis on the pursuit of self-improvement and the ability to adapt to life's inevitable changes. According to Stoic philosophy, change is an intrinsic part of the human experience and a natural element of existence. Epictetus, one of the prominent Stoic philosophers, argued that our happiness and peace of mind are contingent upon our ability to adapt and grow, rather than resisting the inevitable flux of life. The Stoics believed that by embracing change, and striving for continuous self-betterment, individuals could live more fulfilling lives. Application in relationships. In relationships, the capacity to grow and adapt is essential for maintaining a healthy and dynamic connection. Relationships are not static. They evolve over time as individuals grow and circumstances change. Resistance to these changes, whether related to personal growth, relationship dynamics, or life circumstances, can lead to stagnation. For instance, one partner might resist adapting to new life stages or personal developments, such as career changes, moving to a new location, or evolving emotional needs. This resistance can create friction, misunderstandings, and a sense of disconnection. Why relationships end? Relationships often end when one or both partners resist change, which prevents the relationship from evolving. This resistance can manifest as reluctance to compromise, avoid personal growth, or address emerging issues. Stoicism teaches that change is an unavoidable aspect of life, and resisting it can hinder personal and relational development. When partners are unwilling to embrace change, it can create an environment where growth is stifled, leading to dissatisfaction and eventual relationship collapse. By refusing to adapt, individuals may inadvertently sabotage the potential for a deeper and more resilient connection. Solution. To foster a thriving relationship, it is important to embrace personal growth and encourage your partner's growth as well. View change as an opportunity for development rather than a threat. Engage in open communication about your evolving needs and goals, and be willing to adapt to new circumstances together. By supporting each other's growth and viewing change as a natural part of the relationship journey, you can strengthen your bond and ensure that your relationship remains dynamic and resilient. Embracing change with a stoic mindset, seeing it as an inevitable and beneficial aspect of life, can help both partners navigate challenges and build a more fulfilling connection. Lack of emotional resilience. Stoic insight. Stoicism places a high value on emotional resilience, the capacity to withstand and adapt to life's challenges without being overwhelmed by one's emotions. According to Stoic philosophy, developing emotional resilience involves maintaining inner tranquility and focusing on what one can control, while accepting what cannot be changed. The Stoic philosopher Seneca famously remarked, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." This principle underscores the importance of facing challenges with composure and viewing them as opportunities for growth rather than threats. Application in relationships. In the context of relationships, emotional resilience is crucial for navigating the inevitable difficulties that arise over time. Life's pressures, such as financial strain, family conflicts, or health issues, can put a significant strain on relationships. When individuals lack emotional resilience, they may become overwhelmed by these challenges, leading to heightened stress and conflict within the relationship. A partner who struggles to manage their emotions effectively may react impulsively, project their frustrations onto their partner, or withdraw emotionally during tough times. This can erode trust and connection, making the relationship more susceptible to breaking under pressure. Why relationships end? Relationships often falter when partners lack emotional resilience, as they are unable to cope effectively with life's adversities. A relationship becomes fragile when one or both partners cannot handle stress and challenges constructively. Instead of working through problems together, emotional instability can lead to blame, avoidance, or even withdrawal. This fragility can cause the relationship to deteriorate when faced with significant life events or ongoing stress. As Seneca advised, viewing difficulties as opportunities for mental fortitude rather than as insurmountable obstacles is essential for maintaining a strong partnership. Solution: to build emotional resilience within a relationship, both partners should practice stoic principles such as mindfulness and reflection. Embrace the notion that challenges are a natural part of life and an opportunity for growth. Regularly engage in self-reflection to understand and manage your emotional responses. Communicate openly with your partner about your struggles and work together to develop coping strategies. By fostering a mindset that views difficulties as opportunities for strengthening your emotional and relational resilience, you can create a more stable and enduring partnership. A relationship grounded in mutual support and emotional fortitude will be better equipped to weather any storm and emerge stronger from adversity. Conclusion and call to action. To recap, we've explored 8 key reasons why relationships with women often end, viewed through a stoic lens. These reasons include unrealistic expectations, emotional reactivity, poor communication, clinging to external validation, incompatibility in values, resistance to change, and lack of emotional resilience. Each of these factors highlights the importance of focusing on what is within our control, our own reactions, emotions, and personal growth, rather than trying to control external circumstances or expecting perfection from our partners. Stoicism teaches us that by mastering our internal responses and accepting the impermanence of life, we can navigate relationship dynamics with greater wisdom and stability. Inspiring statement. The Stoic approach reminds us that many relationship challenges arise when we attempt to control what lies beyond our grasp. Embracing Stoic principles, focusing on our own actions, maintaining emotional balance, and accepting change can profoundly impact our relationships and our overall approach to life. By prioritizing our personal growth and understanding that we have the power to shape our responses, we can cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections and handle life's inevitable challenges with grace and resilience. If you found value in this Stoic perspective on relationships, I encourage you to reflect on your own connections and apply these principles to enhance them. Subscribe to our channel for more insights into personal growth and strategies for building lasting, fulfilling relationships. Embrace the wisdom of Stoicism and empower yourself to create stronger, more resilient relationships.